Hey guys, ESR Stone, back at it again for another video. This time we're back for another episode, another round of the CRL Season 5 Championship. This time we're at China for obviously the Chinese Grand Prix. We're in qualifying, we're in the final run. Basically going into this actual session, or into this qualifying lap, I was actually using a different setup to what I've been doing practice with. And I also had to change the aero because it was actually going to be another wet race when I had looked on the race director. So I knew this lap wasn't going to be perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Plus, I'd actually been really struggling with qualifying anyway. But if the race is going to be wet, then I really need a good qualifying session because you don't want to be down in the mid-pack when if it's a wet race, especially since, I'm going to say this now, I'm going to sound like a cocky twat, but I truly believe that I am probably the best at the game in the wet. Cocky, bit arrogant, don't really give a shit. I am the best. Fuck you, JD. Anyway, throughout this lap, it's been pretty decent going around here. It's alright. I was using 6.6 aero because it was going to be a intermediate race with light rain apparently. So had to keep my wits about. Coming into here, a little bit sluggish, not going to lie. A little bit dodgy there, but really, yeah, a bit of oversteer there as well. I was just hoping to try and get second on the grid. I knew I wasn't gonna, there was no chance I would be able to get pole because I just knew that Cyril Hamilton was he was just a lot better than me over one lap round here. The race pace we were a bit closer, but really, pretty good corner cut has to be said. Coming to the final corner, yeah. Probably going to take a lot of curb, but no we're not, so that probably lost us a bit of time. But across the line we actually did go to pole position for the time being, but as we'll cut across now, will we, to an onboard? Yeah, here we are. Here's Cyril Hamilton as he track extends the final corner. Somehow he got away with it, but he now goes to pole position by about 2/10. So yeah, no real surprise there. As I cut around to see who's next to cross the line, it's Langman, who is currently down in like P6 at the moment, and kind of just hoping that he doesn't boobop me back down to P3, but he does, and that's going to be us starting in P3, which isn't bad. So we've started P4 and P3 in this season so far. Qualifying is never usually my strong point anyway, and around China, qualifying has been pretty bad. So to come away with P3 was actually quite good, and actually a little bit of a surprise for me. Although the corner cut, not the corner, was a bit iffy, has to be said. But if we can just get a good start, and I know I have actually gotten a lot better with my starts since AOR Russia, probably because that start was dreadful. But we need a good start to hopefully jump Layman into turn 1 and get on the back of Cyril Hamilton. Maybe jump Cyril Hamilton if we're really lucky. But we are waiting for all 5 lights as they're on the screen now. And it is lights out and away we go. We get a pretty decent launch, bringing up the power, and we're actually, well, in the second phase we're a lot better than Layman into turn 1. And we've just been straight lined by Langman. Not really sure what's happened. We've hit another Renault. We've hit his teammate, actually, F1XL Nuthead. But now we're back down to P8, which is not very good. And we're still being hit by Langman. So clearly he's very attracted to my arsehole. But we're now on the back of F1XL Nuthead, and we need to get through this pack pretty fucking quickly. Up the inside of Langman, Nuthead and King Liam. We charge up the inside of Jack Spark. I don't know what happened to him, something a bit jolly, as he's now gone completely off. So we've gone from P8 to P5 in just one corner. I didn't do any practice in the wet, but so this was going to be really, well, it's going to be a new challenge for me anyway, since I obviously didn't do anything in the wet. Obviously I already had good confidence with the wet conditions anyway, and I knew that I was in the party with the Mercedes guys. It was Hamilton and OMG It's Joe, and I knew that Jack or Hamilton was using 5.4 aero, as Jolly's going to start lagging on me, which isn't very good. But he was using 5.4 aero, which meant he was actually going to be really... It's basically near enough to his dry setup, so he's going to be struggling. So I knew that I had the advantage, really, for these conditions. As you can see, we're trying to go up to P4. We're going to squeeze out Jolly. There was enough room there. It was a bit touch and go, so apologies to Jolly there. But Maranzano, Joe, and Jack are all battling and squabbling away for that first spot. And in just one lap, we went from 2nd to 8th to 4th. So, interesting first lap. We're now on the back of Maranzano. As you can see, we're carrying a lot more speed than him into turn 1. We're going to try and get to the inside to have a look up his inside, which we do. Are we going to make the move, though? We're going to try and go around his outside. We're going to make a bit of contact with him as he kind of just runs wide. Got to try and get on the power squeeze to try and get as close to him as possible, and we're up his inside now. Well, we've gone past him anyway, so that's all gone well. We broke a lot later than Joe, and in order not to cream into his arsehole, we've gone up his inside, but obviously that's affected our power on the exit. Something I realised was that I was able to brake a lot later than everyone, going into, I think, well, it was the hairpin there, the start of the 3rd sector, that we're almost approaching now, and the penultimate corner, or the 3rd to last corner, as I'm pretty sure it's known, is actually, that's its actual name. But yeah, as you can see, we're going into here. Like I said, it will break a lot later, and I've closed it right into the back of Joe. So just reiterating my point there. But really, I want to get past Joe as quick as possible, because I can see Jack is getting away, and the only way I can get close to Jack is if I get past Joe, because he didn't seem to quite have the same pace as Jack at this point, and I know Jack isn't very good in the wet anyway, plus Joe's on a wheel, so he's got some like force feedback issue anyway. As you can see, we're braking a lot later than Joe again, but we've all actually missed the apex, as Jack has gone completely off the track, and now it's actually 3 wide at the moment, so I back out of that one. I'm just like, no, I am not going to be fussing with that one. Joe goes around the outside of Jack, and we've kind of been squeezed there by Jack, but we weren't actually alongside enough anyway. We set the fastest lap of the race, but then Langman, who's also made that charge through the field, has set the fastest lap. Hamilton now gets back in front of Joe. Somehow we nearly cream into the back of Joe again, and Maranzano's nearly hitting me. So this 4-way fight at the moment, it's incredibly close, but it's because the front 2 can't really get any consistency. They're missing the apexes and everything, and we're kind of just being involved in a battle that we should not be in. Like, we need to get through this. We're going to dive it down the inside of Joe. This time we're actually committed to a move. Can we make this stick, though? We've had to short shift to 4th to try and help the traction, but it's not actually the fastest, well, it's not fastest gearing to take anyway. So Joe makes it back up our inside. We're going to look to the inside again just to try and put him off, but he's not very phased about that. He just misses the apex a little bit. Coming into the double lefts now, we just got to try and keep close to Joe and hopefully dive it down his inside again. As Joe gets a little bit tail happy there, so we're going to try and use that to our advantage. I know I can brake later. I'm already looking on the inside. Got very close to his rear end there, but we did make the move. We actually made it stick this time, which is a lot better than other attempts. So now it's all on Hamilton again. It's flashbacks to Australia when he was in the wet, and we had to try and overtake him there. But it seems that history is repeating itself again. I know I was already just way more confident in these conditions than I could have ever have been in the dry. So, you know, confidence is high. Obviously, I'm not really sure what to commentate on at the moment. I am a little bit tired, has to be said. Holding myself back from yawning, but since all the action sort of died down, now we're back with Sarah Hamilton on lap 4 of 28 at the moment. Jack is just about hanging on to first place. Like I said, very much struggling. We have actually pulled away from the others as we get a lot of oversteer and understeer mid-corner. But we're going to come across the line, set another fastest lap of the race, so just about pretty much confirming that we are the fastest man on track, and reiterating my point that I am the best in the wet in this game, especially in the intermediate conditions. I mean, literally my life revolves around the intermediate conditions. Trying to get really close to the back of Hamilton, because it is the hardest thing about trying to overtake someone in the wet is pretty much the understeer, because especially since my straight line, my aero was actually worse than Jack's, it was quite difficult. Looking up to the inside now, it was a very late dive bomb, but with the amount of contact made, I just told him to hurry up and get past, so that we can, just so that, you know, I'm not being a bit of a twat. So immediately getting back on with the battle, we're looking up the inside again. Not very committed there, but he has left us the room. We were going to look to the outside, but Hamilton slides his way into, well, he slides his way to hold on to P1 at the moment. So now we need to try it again here, try and make the same move that we tried on Joe. We're going to brake late again. As you can see, I'm not even like committed on the brakes yet, so I'm still trying to get myself warmed up. But we've played a little, it's actually worked a lot in our favour, and we now have the inside, but his aero, like I said, is better than, in terms of straight line speed, it's actually lower than ours. So he's going to have that straight line advantage. He's going to move across to the inside to defend, as we're just taking the decision. We're going to look to the outside, since it's really our only option. Hamilton, he misses his braking point, pushes us wide, and we're trying to hang on to Joe now, but we get a bit of oversteer, and well, he takes advantage of that, and well, now we're behind Joe again. It's getting a little bit frustrating, has to be said, since I know this is really a battle that I just shouldn't be in, as we've almost hit the back of Joe again. As now we're on his inside, he's on our outside. Are we going to hold this position? Still trying to hang on to it, but I think we're going to hang it around the outside now. We're going to try and get on the traction a bit better than him, as Langman's now joined the group for the win, or for the lead anyway. But Maranzano has dropped off, I'm pretty sure. Hamilton still leads away now. We have made the move on Joe, trying to hold on to the traction here. I was actually a little suffering with traction there. Usually in the wet I would just change my aero and my on throttle, but I didn't actually change my on throttle, so it was still like 85, so it wasn't amazing, but to me it's not an amazing option, but it actually worked out quite well. Well, for me anyway, it seemed to work pretty decently. I'm actually just losing all concentration at the moment. Okay, I'm actually losing all sorts of concentration at the moment. I'm incredibly tired right now, and I'm not sure why. Down the back straight, OMG's Joe, he's sort of, well actually, Maranzano was actually on the back of the train a little bit, but Hamilton, once again, he's still got the lead, and just look how much time that we gained just on the brakes. That's just confidence for you. Also having to put it down into first gear. But I think that just shows the difference in confidence. Hamilton, not with a fantastic setup either. Me with a setup more leaned towards the wet conditions as well, which would just help us a lot more. I was planning to do the two-stop as well, I think I should say. Jeff a couple of times recommended the two-stop on the strategy thing at the start. It was a two-stop, so I was pretty certain that, lots of the tyre wear being quite bad around China, I was pretty certain there was a two-stop around here, so I was kind of just waiting for the others to pit, or just for the best advantage for me, as I'm yawning and talking again, so that's going to fuck up my voice. Having another look on Hamilton, can't quite make the move. Jack's ball at 32 has had to leave the session, clearly not having a great day. I think he already retired as well, I just didn't notice that. Once again, as you can see, we're all over the back of Hamilton, just trying to find a way past, as we're going to look to the inside now of the double lefts, and we're going to park it right in front of him, and that's the job done. So now we're finally in the lead of the race, and we are taking advantage from this. But now the question is really if we can hold on to this. I knew my pace was a lot better anyway. As you can see, we're already building the gap, so I knew that all we need to do is just hold on to this, and we will easily just have P1 in the bag. But we get a little bit too eager, use up, well, we just touch the curb, and it just blows us up really, so yeah, that was quite annoying, but obviously we're just going to have to deal with that. I think if it wasn't for that, I think I probably would have tried to go a bit longer, but now, obviously, The Mercedes are now back in front again. So now the job is to get back in front of them and try and pull away. But as we've already seen, I'm actually struggling to keep my way in front of them as we pause, and that's just for me to actually record the clip. So I'm actually going to have a little bit of my monster because I am, like I said, I'm very tired and it's only 4:29 at the moment. Right in the back of Joe, honestly, I'm really struggling with what to say at the moment because it's just a lot of just dull parts I've just not edited out and there's not much for me to talk about. But I just have to deal with that by the seam of it. Going purple in the first sector, although we haven't set a purple sector. And like, this is just what I mean, there's just nothing happening here. But I've got it edited in anyway. Langman in fourth. I guess I probably well, I've got something to talk about now. There goes Hamilton. He's that's all gone wrong for him, and that really should be the end of his race. He's now got to try and overtake Joe and Langman, which that won't be correct. That will be kind of difficult. Joe now takes the lead of the Grand Prix in front of myself, Langman. That should be Jack and Maranzano being the top 5. But this lap, I'm actually playing to pit because, like I said, I thought the 2-stop was the quicker strategy. And I knew that if the 1-stop is possible, which I didn't know if it was or not, I probably should have used my head. But if it was, then the tyre wear at the end will be a bit of a nightmare. Plus, fresh intermediates are OP. They can lap over a second to a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds quicker than one intermediates. So you can see, not knowing if Joe was going to pit or not, he didn't, quite obviously, and I've peeled my way into the pit lane. And this is probably the most fatal error I could have made, because the others were all doing the 1-stop, apart from me. I think I tricked a few people in the lower end to make a second pit stop, or to make the early pit stop. But I knew that if there was anyone that was going to be able to exploit the limitations of the intermediate tyres and use them to the advantage that they have, it was going to be me. So I knew that I needed to push for it, really. We have come out in P7, so well, we've had an interesting race so far. We've had a long scrap at the front. We were hit off at turn 1. I might send that to the stewards because I just want to see everyone's POV of that, really, because I'm not sure what was going on. Apparently Langman got hit by Joe, I think, but Joe said he didn't touch him. For me, it's just as if Langman's just said, yeah, fuck you, and I've just been straight lined into. And really that kind of put the nail in the coffin for my race as we go purple, because if it wasn't for that, I probably could have taken the lead, because I was in second, so I could have probably held on to second around turn 1, 2 and 3. Got past Jack on lap 1, because he was clearly having a few moments of his own around that first lap as we go purple again with the next lap. So we probably would have pulled away, and really it would have been another Australia, just a bit of a bog standard race, nothing really happens, and it would have just been quite easy. But as you can see, lap 12, we're in P5. If you look to the bottom left, you'll see that Joe and Langman, they're actually in the pit, so Hamilton has kept going. But we get a pretty good run on F1XL heads, not getting purple this time, as we're looking to the inside. Maybe we've got better aero than him, or we got lower aero, I should say. We're going side by side. Pretty close stuff there, as we're going to hold it around on the inside, and we've made the move stick there. Now at this point, I've got to just keep my focus, got to keep going. Hopefully that when Jack hits, we will come out hopefully about 11 seconds in front, as we make that very big lockup. Really, that's not going to help my race at all. But as you can see, we're cutting to the end of the lap. Jack is in the pit lane. So now, as we go purple again, it's literally just about going full pace and, well, just trying to exploit these tyres as much as we can, because now they're going to be now they've got the advantage. Now they're on the fresher tyres, and they should be lapping quicker than me, which isn't very good for my race anyway. So I think I was going to pit somewhere around like lap 18, lap 19, and then go for a 10-lap stint at the end. So they would have about probably 6 to 7 laps already done on their tyres. So they would have about maybe 30 to 40%, or I'll be on fresh intermediates, which by that point they should be about a second quicker. So like I said, I should have the easy advantage. And with the about 9 to 10 second lead that I've already got, it should hopefully play into my favour. But now, as you can see, we've made that pit stop, and we're going to come out. Well, we're currently in P3 at the moment. Oh, no mind, we're P5. That's just me being clearly blind. So now, lap 19 of 28. We have a big gap to close now on Hamilton, who is leading the race now, in front of Joe, Langman and Maranzano. But as you can see on the map, Mercedes are very much in front of Langman and Maranzano. So for us now, it was just about going full pace, no holding back now. We have to exploit literally all the pace that we've got in the wet conditions, use the advantages that we learned at the start, which was our braking and obviously our mid-corner speed, and just really just fully exploit that now, as Hamilton actually goes purple, which is not what I need to see. I need him to be struggling on his tyres, which is not quite happening. Langman also now goes purple, which is also what I don't want to see, and now we go purple, which is what I want to see. But we need to be going quicker than this, because if they've still got decent life in their tyres, you know, we're not going to be gaining that much. And, you know, we need to be gaining about a second and a half a lap as we go purple again now. As we're not too far away from Maranzano, so we need to make the move. As literally, first opportunity, we've got to make the move. We can't just sit back and just wait. We have to immediately go for the overtakes, which was... This is probably the most intense I think a league race could have got for me. You know, I'm quite clearly the fastest driver on the track, but I've made a bit of a boo-boo with the strategy, and now I have to overtake drivers as soon as possible to try and gain enough on the leader to maybe get past him. But we've got 7 laps to go in this race, as maybe 6 actually. No, we've got 7. As we can see, diving it down the inside of Maranzano. Like I said, first opportunity we get, we did kind of just ram into him there, but he managed to hold up around the right side. As you can see, we're doing that little bit of a weave just to say, sorry. It was a bit of a lunge. So yeah, apologies to Maranzano. I don't think you're going to be watching this anyway. But like I said, I needed to make the overtakes as ASAP, really, and that's really what we did. We made the move as soon as possible, and now lap 23, we're going to be coming to the line. Is this going to be us going purple again? Yes, it is. So we're basically putting the pressure on the people in front of us now. And Joe has lost a lot of pace at the moment. I think there must have been something about his tyre wear or his force feedback, because obviously in the wet and the wheel they have their own force feedback issue. I'm not going to go into that because I'm not fully up to date with that, but it's whatever it is, it's caused Langman to be right on the back of him, and it's also caused me to be on the back of both of them. So now it's basically we got to get past 2 drivers that are fighting each other really quickly. And as you can see, we're not quite hitting that apex, which is kind of going to hold us up a little bit. But as you can see, we've kind of just skipped in front of that, going purple as well. And you might notice now we're in second with no drivers in front of us, apart from Hamilton, who's quite far ahead. I don't have the footage for that. I think I've just about missed it in my recording. But basically, it was just a mess, really. I wasn't really able to make a proper move on them that wouldn't have lost me a lot of time. And I lost about 2 seconds, I think, being stuck behind Langman and Joe. So yeah, that basically lost us the race. I think if it wasn't for that, the pressure would have really have been on Hamilton, who is going to win the Chinese Grand Prix. But I think if it wasn't for that, the pressure would have really have been on. We would have been gaining that time, and maybe we could have won the race. If maybe he could have made a mistake under pressure, and maybe we would have seen a different result. But you know, second place, it's still good. We're still leading the championship, 43 points, and overall our lead in the championship has actually extended. Hamilton, who finished 5th last time, now with the win, he's on 35 points, so we're 8 points in front. So really, it's not a bad day, but it could have been it could have been more, it could have been better. As you can see, there's the Chancellor. Sorry if you can't really read that, but yeah, that is basically the Chinese Grand Prix from CRL. So I'm going to round off this video here. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new for more league racing content. Follow me on Twitter at ESR Stone, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers.